Oh, here it is. This is it. The search is finally over. So what the heck did you spend all your money on, Foresty? So this is a 2006 Provan Tiger. Definitely a rare sight in Canada. You don't see these very often. So this is based on a 2006 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD chassis. It's got the sought after LBZ 6.6 Duramax and a Allison 1000 transmission. It is quite the rig. I'm pretty excited to have this. But yeah, a couple days of owning this thing, it's already turned more heads and got more comments than my van ever did. I know some people probably want to call this a motorhome, but to me this is like a custom backroad truck camper. So we'll start out here with a walk around the outside. It's about 21 feet long, 10 feet high, a bit bigger than the van, but still a decently compact size for getting out there on back roads, which is a very important factor that you have to consider. But getting around cities, I've already had a few challenges just finding parking, and I also went to a car wash and just a bit too high to get in the garage there. It has a air conditioning unit on the top, which definitely adds to the height. That might be something that I remove in the future. As you can tell, for a 20-year-old vehicle, it's in really good shape. No rust or anything. The previous owner took great care of it. When I first got my 4x4 van, I was all gung-ho for doing these crazy 4x4 routes, and I just beat the crap out of it. But with this, it's a different story. I'm going to be taking much better care of this one. Yeah. So that's for the diesel there. The previous owner put 34-inch wheels on and also beefed up the suspension a bit. And shore power, furnace, hot water heater, fridge, and the propane fill is down there. Everything is just so clean. I've honestly been stressed out driving this thing around. Like, did I get something that's too nice for me and the way I live my life? Yeah, like I've been saying, I've been looking for a new rig for well over a year and nothing ever fully lined up, and I was starting to wonder, like, is the universe trying to tell me something? Do I need to go back to the basics of just like a simple minivan build? But then this suddenly came up and I didn't even have to think about it. It was the easiest choice I ever made. So moving on from the 4x4 Express van, I just mostly want to have something with more room and also keep the 4x4. In my mind, there's no going back to two-wheel drive. But I feel like a custom truck camper like this is truly the perfect form factor. It's just easier to work on with the big hood, no more going in through the doghouse. Love having the cab over bed. I've just never really been a fan of like trying to utilize all the space in the little van. You have to have all these transformable things, set up your bed every single day. Much greatly prefer stuff that is just permanently set up and ready to go. And I also feel like something based on a truck chassis is going to be a lot stronger than what a van ever is. But I very seriously considered getting a truck with a slide in. Nothing really lined up on that for me. I think there's positive and negatives to both ways you can do it. But I definitely prefer having like the pass-through from the driver's seat into the living space with this one. It's got a custom ARB front bumper. Might have to add a light bar and a winch in there at some point, but this rig on its own is already very capable. I'm not even sure that it needs a winch. From my research, I believe this has a AAM 11.5 inch 14 bolt rear axle, optioned with a true limited slip. Whereas with my van, I was confused for a while. It has a G80, which is an auto locker, and from what I can tell, it didn't do a dang thing. So this one should be a true limited slip and much more capable. There's a spare tire on the back, and also that's where the propane generator is. There's an awning up there, which I'm sure I'll get some use out of. My apologies if the video quality is not quite up to par. All my good camera gear is locked away inside my van. We will talk more about that later. But yeah, this is basically it, and I think Rocco likes it. She's quite cozy there on the couch. I know a lot of people were excited to see another Home Depot parking lot build, but this time kind of relieved to have something that's all built out and ready to be lived in. But I will be carrying out a number of renovations to look forward to. One thing that it obviously needs is a wood stove, so we'll be figuring that out later. So it's got a 3-way fridge, the furnace is down there, then a real actual oven. So excited to have this in my life. Can't wait to do some baking. propane cooktop. I'd like to have an induction in here somewhere. Maybe I can shrink the sink and get a nice custom wood countertop made. It's got a microwave. I'm not sure I'll ever use that. I might repurpose that space. And then air conditioning, which I might swap out for a roof vent. Looking this way, full pass through right to the driver's seat. So convenient. Check all the levels on this, and then it's a thermostat for the furnace. This thing is old school. It has two modes, full blast on or off. It's very jarring. It's very hard to sleep with it on. Maybe at some point I can swap it out for a newer one, or else leave it as is and find a place to add a diesel heater into here. And behind this door is a bathroom. I've lived without having a toilet in my life for over 7 years. Not sure if I know how to use this anymore. I might need some training, some demonstration on that. And it's got a shower. Like, how convenient. Finish up a long hike, then I don't have to drive all the way to the closest rec center or truck stop. I can actually shower right here in the truck. Luxury. So all the electrical is underneath the couch / pull-out bed. The previous owner added in this 280 amp hour lithium battery. I've been trying to sort out how this all works. I believe the battery just charges right now off shore power, the generator, and it's also got a small, like 120 watt solar panel on the roof. So I'm going to have to add in like a sizable DC to DC charger to charge this faster. And also, I believe a number of these sockets, the microwave, the AC, just run off the generator. So I'd like to change that around so that it runs off an inverter and they're always on. Hey, look at this. I'm standing up straight. I can walk around inside my rig. I can't believe this. But yeah, the ceiling is starting to droop a bit in spaces. I'm probably going to rip all this out, do a better job insulating it, then maybe add some tongue and groove so it looks more aesthetic, more like a cabin on wheels. Yeah, I love this thing. So it's got this aluminum ladder that you have to place to get up to the bed. Not too keen on having this thing floating around all the time. I might have to build a permanent ladder over here at some point. Oh yeah, so much space. I can fully stretch out. This is like luxury overload. I can't even handle it. So some progress has finally been made on my van after a very frustrating experience. I don't really like to direct negative attention to shops and try to shame them, but these guys were especially terrible. My experience with GM dealerships is really hit and miss. Some are amazing, like the one in Cranbrook there, when the transmission went on my minivan. I took it in. They looked at it the day of, they confirmed that the transmission was shot, they started working on it right away, and like within 3 days I was back on the road. Communication was great, everything was great, couldn't recommend them anymore. But this GM dealership, just east of Spokane there, just be very wary if you're looking to get some work done there. If you go into Google reviews, all the positive reviews are in the sales of new vehicles, but if you dig down to service, exceptionally terrible, and that's exactly what I got. So my van sat there for like 3 days. They kept telling me they'd take it in right away, and that should have clued me in, and I should have went somewhere else immediately. But I decided to leave it there because I wanted to come back to Canada to look at some new campers. So my van sat in their parking lot for about 8 days before they finally looked at it. Then all they did was plug a computer into it and decide that the transmission was shot and that it needed a complete swap out. Then it sat there for 2 more days. They didn't bother to call me or tell me that it was finished. So I had to call them like 3 times and get a little bit angry on the phone before they actually talked to me. And then what they said was that they can't even replace the transmission on the van because it's like an aftermarket Quigley 4x4 conversion. So yeah, all that time was just a complete waste. But then I got a hold of a different transmission shop across the road from them, and he's been great. Like, he went to the dealership, fetched my van, brought it back to his shop, and he's been making some good progress on it. He did confirm that the transmission is shot on that van, and he's going to do a rebuild, and he says he's also going to beef it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to have to go back down there to fetch my van eventually, and then I'm going to sell it. I'm going to put it up for sale. I'm going to leave that to the next buyer, whether or not I'll like leave the camper conversion installed. I might just gut it and leave it as a blank slate for the next person. But yeah, I mean, it's a great platform for anyone looking to get into like backroad 4x4 van life. I mean, the 6-liter V8 LS engine is super strong, and it's going to have like a brand new rebuilt transmission in it. So for anyone looking for like van life or anything like that, it could be a good candidate. So I'll talk more about that later once I get it back into Alberta. I'm sure I'm forgetting to talk about a few things about this new rig. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll try to get back to you. But I hope you guys like this new rig. I can't wait to share some new adventures in it. So thanks for watching this episode. Let's go for a drive.